You know what I mean? So, you know, when I talk about, or, you know, now that we've talked about the sacrifice, you know, you're sacrificing for this process, this journey that you're about to go on, right? And when you're going on this journey, you don't really know the journey, you know, so to speak. So it's good, I feel like, for us to be able to tell a lot of young kids in this area about the journey. You know what I mean? Because when I think about me playing high school football and my coach was Coach Mack, and Coach Mack was a great guy. Coach Mack was a great coach. But Coach Mack couldn't tell me about the journey that I was about to face. Yeah. You know what I mean? Coach Mack couldn't tell me what it was like to be a top 5 quarterback in the country and a top 5 point guard in the country. He couldn't tell, not that he wouldn't, he just didn't know. Yeah. You know, so I just feel like since we've experienced that, and it's not what somebody else told us, it's what we experienced, I feel like we should kind of touch on just the journey, you know, what kids can expect and how, you know, not knowing something could affect the journey. You know what I mean? So if you want to just, you know, kind of touch on your journey, Jeremy, and talk about that a little bit.
So touching on the journey, what it took for me, and just, you know, looking back on my journey to get to where I am is, you know, I came through high school, transferred a couple times, took the junior college route, you know, and then, you know, finally got to the league and, you know, did my time there. But as far as the journey, it's so many different variables that nobody can really prepare you for, you know, or really give you insight on that, you know, it's going to come up that can have a crazy impact on, you know, your trajectory in your career, you know, where you end up at, you know, where you don't. But it's so many things that come into it, you know, and one of the things for me that I learned, you know, is getting used to change and being able to adapt to change, because that's the one thing that's certain through life and through all our careers, man. Things gonna change. You gotta have to adapt to new things, new territory, new people, new circumstances. It ain't gonna always be the best circumstances. It ain't gonna always be the worst, but, you know, one thing is for certain is you gotta bring your best self to the table, you know, and being able to give, you know, your best self, you know, to the solution, you know. And for me, going through that journey of, you know, the ups and downs and the trials and the tribulations, man, it made me a better man than it made me a better football player. And there's things that I picked up from that, you know, like even my mom, we had a conversation that it's certain things that I learned how to be a man, how to be, you know, a great human being, that just from chasing my path of football and taking that journey, you know, those trials and tribulations that she couldn't even teach me or prepare me for. And, you know, she humbly admitted that, you know, it's things that I've watched you grow up as a man and become because of the journey that you took, and when you embrace your, you know, unique journey and what comes with it. You know, it's a long haul, but man, it's fruitful. It's, you know, it's blessings in it. The people you meet, like you guys, man, coming, just being here. Never would have thought, you know, I watched you growing up, man. I heard about you growing up, Mo, as well, but I never thought I'd be coming here, you know, having this conversation with you guys, talking about, you know, these type of things that we're putting together for these kids and the way we're gonna be able to pour back our journey, information, that knowledge, that insight that we got, man, to be able to, you know, impact and change lives ultimately.
What about your journey, 7?
Oh man, you know, like I stated earlier, you know, when we was talking about sacrifices, you know, my journey was pretty much the same as Jerm. You know, I ended up taking the JUCO route, you know, but, you know, that journey was because a lack of information, like we talked about earlier. You know, I felt like my journey could have been different if I would have knew about the SAT. If I would have knew that that was an important subject that I needed to be taking, and not just going in thinking, you know, I went in thinking that, is this gonna stop me from being able to graduate high school? You know, they told me, nah, that's not gonna stop me from graduating high school. So I just went and just took the test any kind of way, not knowing this is gonna be the path of my life, you know, to make me be able to get a D1 scholarship. But like I said, you know, I took the journey, I went JUCO, I ended up going to Hutchinson Community College, you know, miles away from home, you know, and that journey, it was a whole different culture of where I was at from where I'm from, you know, from Sarasota going to Kansas. That was like a major culture change for me. And, you know, and like with me being on that journey and learning new things from new people that I met, you know, I met a lot of great people on that journey, a lot of great people that had the same influences, the same type of, you know, mind frame that I was trying to look for to be able to be successful. You know, so, you know, just along that way, you know, as a young man just coming, you know, like I said, coming out the projects, you know, it's different things that you learn, you know, so, you know, it's never a situation that is ever over, you know what I'm saying? Some kids, they'll think that, you know, when the path get hard, you know, it's easy to just run away. you know. But if you stay positive and you stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish, you know, everyone's journey is different. You know, like I say, with me having an opportunity to go JUCO, you know what I'm saying, doing my 2 years in JUCO and then actually finally getting a scholarship at Eastern Michigan University, you know, that was like a major change from coming from JUCO to actually being able to play Division I football. And, you know, and just having the right surrounding around me, positive people, you know, it was a great journey, you know. So I end up, at the end of my journey, you know, I got 15 years of experience of coaching youth football. I've been doing it for 15 years. You know, I've been playing, I played a lot, you know. After I finished with Eastern Michigan, I ended up playing some semi-pro football, you know, and it's just been a great, you know, life lesson to be able to come back with this journey that I've been through, to give back to these kids and just let them know, you know, it's never over, man. Just stay around positive people, great coaches, you know, and I think that's a great thing about our organization. We got a bunch of great guys that's gonna lead these kids in the right direction.
That's awesome, man. So like when you listen to two guys talk, they've been on two different journeys. They've taken two different paths, but at the same time, we all still sitting here today. You know what I mean? Right in the same place. And, you know, I think, you know, when I started, you know, Air 5, it was with this in mind. Let's get guys that have done it, that have taken different journeys, because you're gonna have different kids that take those different journeys. And I've never been one to try to tell a kid how to take a journey I can't relate to. So I felt like if we could put enough people around that have taken that journey, you know, when a kid has to go the JUCO route, I can say go talk to Coach Jerm or Coach Mo. They've done that. I can't tell you how that feels because I've never done that. You know what I mean? So just putting everything together, it's just good to know that, man. When you like you say, you can take different routes. We've all come from different places. We've all had a different journey, but at the same time, you can still accomplish what you're trying to accomplish within whatever journey you got to take. You know what I mean? So, Brian, let's hear about your journey.
Yeah, man. So pretty much, I think the main thing about the whole journey prospect is being open-minded. Like coming out of high school, I kind of had a big head thinking that, okay, my athleticism, they gonna pick me up anyway. But when you don't have them grades, going back to what Jerm said, you're gonna have to be adaptable. So I ended up going to a Division II school, Lane College. Turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made because it allowed me to do the things that I wanted to do. And the lessons that you learn along the way and the people that you meet as far as mentors or even players, just getting around different people, you see different types of grind and they help you with what you're doing. It's kind of like, you know, we all giving each other jewels. And, you know, the kids just understanding, you know, you're going to have to understand balance and understand what's best for you in every situation and really listen when people talking. And sometimes everything ain't what it seems. You know what I mean? And getting around the people that's going to lead you in the right direction on that journey really helps out. So, most definitely.
Sweet, man. That's sweet. I think, man, for me, my journey was crazy. You know, I mean, even when I just think about it from a kid standpoint, my journey was crazy, and my pops was a genius with everything that he did. He had a plan for every single thing that we did. And I think when I was 8 years old, I never wanted to play football. You know, and my pops, what I admired about him the most is he never tried to teach me something that he didn't know. He never claimed to know something that he didn't know. You know what I mean? And that's what I see a lot of issues with today, where somebody's son play a sport and they feel like they gotta, you know, coach the sport or teach the sport. My daughter do gymnastics. I pass out water. I don't want to coach gymnastics because I don't want to tell my baby to do something the wrong way. You know what I mean? So I remember when I was young, my pops was like 8, 9 years old. First thing he said, I'm not coaching you in football. I don't know football. We gonna get somebody, you know what I mean, that can teach you the game of football. So he take me to the Manatee Broncos, you know, and my first coach was Coach West. To the day I retired, I used to write Coach West on my wristband. And the reason I did that was because when I showed up Manatee Broncos, I don't know nobody. Coach West say, son, what position you want to play? want to play quarterback, coach. You my quarterback, can't nobody else play quarterback. You know what I mean? So right there, here it is. He became the first man in my life that, in my opinion, believed in me just as much as my daddy believed in me. This man said, you gonna be my quarterback, and he had never seen me throw a pass. So my motivation became, I can't let Coach down. Coach believed in me. He ain't give nobody else a chance to play the position. You know what I mean? But little did I know, Pops knew Coach West, so Pop put me in the position to be the quarterback because Coach West had a great team with the Broncos. You know what I mean? So that was kind of that first thing where it's like, okay, Pop know what he's doing. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you go to fast forward to like middle school. I went to Lincoln Middle School, right? Part of the journey. All my friends was in Palmetto. I went to Palmetto Elementary, I went to Lincoln Middle School. Pop said, you going to Southeast for high school. Pops, I don't want to move to Bradenton. I don't care what you want to do. This is a part of the journey. You going to Southeast because Southeast is a top 10 basketball team in the state, and they have 5 returning starters playing basketball, but they all play football. So while they playing football, they got to start somebody on the basketball court. So as a freshman, I'm starting in basketball. He say, son, all you got to do, he was brilliant. All you got to do is score 4 points a quarter. Just 2 layups, son. Make 2 layups. By the end of the game, I got 16 points as a freshman, averaging 16 for a top 5 team in the state of Florida. He put me in position to be successful, right? You know, so then I come back in my sophomore year, I decide I'm gonna play some football, right? So I'm go the whole summer workouts, and first game of the season, they start me against Bayshore. To throw a pass to Tony Hill. I remember it like it was yesterday. Tony Hill ain't showed up to no all-season workouts at all, Mo. Yeah. So I throw the pass to him, they put me on the bench. At halftime, I hear a knock at the door. It's Pop. Pop say, give them their stuff. Right now, we going to get ready for basketball. If they ain't gonna let you play football, we can't miss this time getting ready for basketball. So coach said, hold on, we gonna play him in the second half. Play the second half, we lose 7-6, but for me, it was a man that came to the door that stood up because he knew the journey we had been on. He knew all the work we had on put in. He knew all the summers we was out there when wasn't nobody out there. He drove me all over the country. How you gonna tell me my son can't play football as a sophomore and he averaged 16 as a freshman for the top 5 team in the country? You don't know what we sacrificed. So if you can't respect what we sacrificed, we finna go play basketball. So long story short, started as a sophomore, I got B10 high walked in the backfield. I ain't got to do nothing but toss the ball, right? Pitch right, pitch left, throw a ball every now and then. But he knew we had a good football team. So I can remember like yesterday, man, it was going to a Nike All-American camp as a sophomore in basketball, me telling Pops, I'm done. I'm done playing basketball, Pops, I'm done. So as we drive into Indianapolis, I forget where we stopped, might have been Kentucky or somewhere like that. Pop go in the store, he come out with a magazine. He say, hey, I gotta show you something. 10th grade year, we lost to St. Thomas in the state championship, right? 35 zip, 28 zip, something like that, Mo. When mama came to the field, she said, son, at least you kept getting up, my earrings gone, everything, right? So I'm done playing football. He come out with the Street and Smith magazine, remember them? I don't even know if they still got them. I was a top 50 junior in the country because we went to state and lost. So he said, what you gonna do, you gonna quit? So I guess I can't quit, I guess I got to keep playing. You know what I mean? So just by him putting me in a situation where basketball team was good, football team was good, I threw for like 800 yards as a sophomore. Passed my ACT, SAT as a sophomore because he said that was mandatory. We had to do that. It put us in position. I started getting offers as a sophomore, right? Florida State, Michigan State, Ohio State as a sophomore because he had put me in position to be successful. You know what I mean? He sacrificed. It all goes back to that. He had a plan for me. Just trust the plan, right? You know, so you come back and you talk about your junior year where you throw for 3,000 yards, and your senior year where you throw for 4,000 yards. But what he really taught me was how to really be a leader and how to understand that in this game of football, in this game of life, it's about people, it's about relationships, right? So you got to really learn the people that surround you because you need them. You know, so I took the time to really get to know my offensive line. They got the block for me. I took the time to really get to know my receivers because they got to catch the ball. You know what I mean? And not only that, I made sure I was fully qualified as a sophomore. You know, so now I'm putting up stats, I'm getting offers. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna help the man next to me. So I started telling schools, me and my 4 receivers are a package deal. You want me, you got to take all them. Some of my boys would have never got I don't want to say never, but from some of the schools that they got offered by, they wouldn't have got offered by. You know what I mean? But I understood I had the power just because of the work we had put in, the plan that Pops had put in place. So let me help some other guys. You know what I mean? So you know when we talk about Jaworski Pollock going to North Carolina, he was a great football player, but we was a package. They didn't offer him until I said we're a package deal. And he might still be, you know, North Carolina all-time leading receiver. Maybe Switzer is now, but Jaworski Pollock was one of the best receivers I ever played with in my life. But because he was 5'7", they didn't want to offer him a scholarship. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think the biggest thing for me was when I started playing the game, it was always to help other people. I never wanted to play to go to the league. I mean, I wanted to go to the league, but it wasn't about the money. It was how many people can I help? And that drove me, right? The longer I stay relevant in the game, the more I'm balling, the more people I can help, you know? I mean, 2 years ago, I'm playing in Canada. You can call the coach, you can call the players. I walked in the office. Coach, send me home. What do you mean? I'm done. I need to go help these kids. These kids need me. It wasn't that I couldn't play the game no more. I walked away from the game. Last year, coach, I went and played in Jacksonville. I invited the kids to the game to see me play. After the game they saw me play, I retired. Because it was never about me playing the game. It was about them seeing me play the game so that they knew who was out here with them every day. Understand, I'm sacrificing my career for y'all. It ain't that I can't do, I can do this. I choose to be here with y'all. So when you step out here on the field, I need you to give me everything you got every single day. You know what I mean? So when the journey that I've gone on, I think it may be a little bit different from y'all. Possibly A, because my dad was there. I don't know if y'all dad was there. But B, he gave me all the answers to the test. So it made it easy navigating through everything because I was fully qualified. He knew everything. And so when I talk about kids being coached or kids not having mentors that have experienced what they're trying to experience or that have the knowledge to get accomplished what they're trying to get accomplished, it could hinder that path. You know what I mean? It's plenty of kids that took this same path that didn't have the mental makeup that y'all had. Cause you're strong mentally, right? So you was able to say, well, shoot, well, I ain't going home. But it's plenty that have gone home because they was mentally weak and they didn't have the knowledge. You know what I mean? So I just think with what we're doing, the key for me is just always trying to keep as much information as possible. Keep all the knowledge, using the resources to help the kids that truly want to make the sacrifice, that want to commit to the journey. We got to give them this knowledge. For the ones that don't want it, with all due respect, we got to get y'all out of here because y'all distracting the ones that want it. You know what I mean? But there's a huge difference from somebody being coached or getting information from somebody that don't know what's going on, because they getting the information from somebody else and you don't even know if that's credible. But the information we giving, it's experience. I know this for a fact because I went through this. And if you don't believe me, I'm about to call my boy and he coach at Kentucky or Georgia. you know, or wherever. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to watch, because I look at Kirby Smart. Kirby was a GA at Florida State. Man, people throwing Gatorade on Kirby. Kirby, get out the way. I used to always say, boy, y'all better start treating Kirby like you never know where Kirby gonna end up. He the head coach for the top 5 team in the country today. I could pick up a phone and call Kirby because of a relationship, man. Cause I took the ACT in time and had a choice to go wherever I wanted to go, and he was there, and we built that relationship. If I don't take the ACT in time, I don't know where I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think all of our journeys are different in a sense, you know, but there's such a wealth of knowledge here, man, that I don't think there's a kid that can come in our program, whether they grew up in the inner city or not, that couldn't use the knowledge we got, because it don't matter where you grew up, you're gonna have to take one of these roads, one of them, you know, when you play in this game, you know. So I appreciate y'all sitting there taking the time, you know, to talk about the journey and to spread the information on the journey, because I feel like, you know, to whoever's watching this, if it's 1, if it's 101, somebody's gonna be able to say, dang, that was me. Somebody gonna be able to say, I'm going through that right now. Let me tighten up. You know what I mean? Somebody might find you on Facebook and DM you and ask you, you know, anything. You just never know how you could touch somebody. But it's just interesting to hear, even within all our journeys, again, we sitting right here right now today, and we all able to sit down and talk about these experiences together, while looking at the beautiful scenery, you know, while all coming from somewhere where they told us we can't be here today because of where we came from.
And with journeys, man, the big thing to take away from it that kids need to know, I think, is too many times I think we choose like our past and our journeys, and we choose it based off, especially like inner city kids, but youth as a whole need to know that you don't have to choose a path or, you know, career or your journey, or have, you know, how you're gonna take it based off money or what you're gonna get out of it, more so financially. If money makes sense and money matters, but it's like our individual journeys, I'm pretty sure we all can vouch and say that the people we met, the relationships we've been in, the experiences we had, the life lessons, you know, our journeys taught us, that experience we picked up, and that knowledge and the credibility it gives all us to, you know, talk and relate to these kids and the youth, that's more valuable than the money involved in, at the end of the journey. And I think you can never, you know, account for, you know, all the different variables that come into your journey and your process, but all of that helps make you into the, you know, it's the makeup of who we are, you know, to the core. And I think we all genuine people because of the journeys we went through, you know, and I think kids need to know that now more than ever, man. You don't have to choose a path based off the financial benefit of it. You know, you never know what that journey got for you as a man, as a whole, you know, as a person. You know, you being able to connect with people and help people like you do, man, all because you took care of the choices you had to take in your journey, not because of the money you got, or not because what you got in your bank account. The people you met, the experiences you had allow you to, you know, connect and put things together, you know, in a way. So I think that speaks to, you know, values the journey and the value.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't find that nowhere else, you know, man. You got to be authentic, you know, and the experience that gives you that. The journey and the experience gives you that authentically. So I think kids need to know that.
I think another thing that the parents, what they have to understand is what we doing is teaching them calluses and character, basically. You know what I mean? We're going to put you through something tough. You know, you're going to build a mental callus and some physical callus to allow you to be able to endure through the journey. You know what I mean? Like, that's the main thing. We was obviously able to endure to get to the goal what we said we wanted to reach. Whether that was dealing with school, on the field and off the field issues. You know what I mean? And that's one of the main things, you know, what I see in the program.
Great.